We are going to refer to our drawings that we have. We are going to cut each of these openings, okay? And if you could get your piece of paper, the exploded view, the unfolded view, and turn it in the way that the elevation A is showing at the bottom. Okay, so elevation A showing at the bottom. Let's see. So I'm going to have to view, rotate. So it'll look like this. Alright? What we want to do is to cut this opening right here. If we refer back to the roof plan and elevation A, where that matches is you can always take your piece of paper and put it all together, but what that's going to do is to attach this top portion, because that's the bottom right here, that's the floor, this top portion to this side portion of the box, which if you look at the unfolded view, it is this cut right here. So as from the top, what we're going to do is to draw another box that is 4 foot by 8 foot, and the height for that is 7 foot. Okay, so let's go back to RNO, and then somewhere on the screen what we're going to do is to draw a box. So go back to the box command, or again go to solid box, or just type in box. You could get your cursor anywhere on the screen that you want, okay, because this is going to draw right on the C plane. Okay, so if we click anywhere, what we are going to have to do is to enter the @ symbol, because we want to draw from the relative point, from the last point, to draw an object that is 4 foot by 8 foot, right? So the top view and the side view, it says on the top view we look at 4 foot, comma 8 foot. Enter. Okay, and now the command prompt is asking us for a height. We know the height is going to be, when you look at elevation A, it's going to be 7 foot high. So type in 7 foot and enter, and that gives us a box that matches that cutout. Okay, please recall our coordinate system. We know that we have this icon right here at the corner that's telling us the X direction, Y direction, and the Z direction. The input that you're putting in relates to those coordinate system. If we put the 4 foot first, it's going to go into the X direction, and the 7 foot next, 8 foot the second, it would go into the Y direction, and then the last coordinate would be in the Z direction, which was the 7 foot, correct? So that's, every time you input for a three-dimensional box, just remember it's a X first, Y next, and then Z the third. Okay, please get yourself in a view that looks similar to mine, where you have the Y coordinate going diagonally from the bottom left to the upper right, and then the X the other direction, and Y pointing straight up. Okay, you could always move this thing anywhere you want. It doesn't matter if it's over here, wherever, but just have it so that the coordinate system looks just like mine right here. Okay, what we're going to do is to move this piece that you just made into one of the corners. Okay? For that operation, you are going to have that O-snap toggle on. So the O-snap is down here, or in this status bar. Make sure that that is highlighted. Along with that, go over to the endpoint, which is over on the very left-hand bottom side, N. Place a check in there. Also, if you could go towards the middle of that setting to int, that means intersection. Place a check in there. Okay? When you do that, what we're going to do is to move this object into place. Okay, so the command for that is move, M-O-V-E, enter, or I believe it is in the edit, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. Okay, but in the standard tool tab, it is this little symbol over here that looks like one white box, and there's a little arrow between it, and then there's a blue box. Okay, and that is a move command as well. Since I don't know where the other move, how to get the move command from the, oh, it should probably in the transform, huh? Yes. So transform, basically what how I'm gonna change the object there. So transform would have the move right in there. So transform, move, or type in move. Okay. I'm gonna select this object, and notice this time it does not, if you have your gumball on, the gumball does not show up, right? Because we overwritten the gumball by giving it a move command. If we select it, if we are finished with our selection, hit the enter key, and now it's going to ask point to move from. What I'm going to do is to click on this upper, is it upper right hand corner of this box right here. You guys do the same, and then what we're going to do is to place this right onto, now be careful doing this. I'll warn you about this. What I want to do is to place it in this corner, but remember there's two planes in there, right? So if I orbit it so that, and zoom it so that I see the two boxes, there's one in there and there's one on the outside. Make sure that you select the one on the outside and then click. So that just moved my object from the C plane. I selected the upper corner, and then with the O-snap on, selected the end or the intersection point and moved it off to this corner. Again, another way to move this thing is not using the move command and just selecting the object. With that, your gumball would turn on. Since I want to move this thing in towards the center right here, if you look at the roof plan, it is pretty much at the center of the box, right? So it says on the dimensions here that you want to move it 10 feet. So we could click on the red arrow, which is in the X direction. If we click that and type in, what do we type in? -10. Don't forget the negative symbol because the arrow is pointing that direction. If I just type in 10, it's going to move towards that arrow direction. So if I say -10 foot, don't forget the foot sign, it would move right to place. Okay? Control Z. If you also have the grid snap on, right, you could select the arrowhead and move it along its place. Notice on the status bar, right towards the middle, right in front of the layer. Notice that number is moving to -8.6, -9 foot, -9 foot 6, -10 foot. You could also move it that way as well, although that way might not be too accurate, so you might as well just hit the arrow and move it to the exact input that you want. All right?